Welcome to Coach's Roundtable. I'm Ed Codi, and welcome our guest, the head football coach from Grove City College, Andrew D. Donato. And Coach, first of all, congratulations on being named President Athletic Conference Coach of the Year. Quite an accomplishment, 8-3 season. I remember we were up there 2 years ago, and you were coming off an 0-9 season your first year, and then 4-5. You had a tough loss at the end of the year there that could have put you over the hump. And now to 8-3, and you talked about one brick at a time. So you have this foundation going. Did you expect to get there that fast with an 8-3 season this year?
Yeah, we knew. First of all, I just want to say thank you for having me on.
Absolutely,
and really appreciate the game you guys did as well. Like I said, our kids love watching the broadcast of that game. Just so appreciate you coming to do that, and then obviously being here. And yeah, I mean, the Coach of the Year, I told a couple people today, that means we have some really good players. And you were at that game, a lot of guys that had unbelievable years, which allowed us to get to this 8-3. But yeah, my first meeting with our team, I stood in front of a team that had just gone winless their last couple years. Our juniors had never won a game. And we needed something to get them focused on the right things, and that's where brick by brick came into play. And we told them, focus on the vision, not your circumstance. Don't look at where we're at circumstance-wise. Focus on the vision. And we said our vision's ultimately to compete for PAC championships. And we said it's going to be a long process, building one brick at a time. And we saw that year 2 going 4 wins, 5th of 10 in the conference. There was a lot of progress made, part of the process. And then this year, getting to 8-3, we were confident that the process was working, what we were doing was working. And, we just said the results will take care of themselves, and we find ourselves at 8-3. So, to be honest, we're not surprised that the process has worked. We believe in what we're doing. But you get there at the end of the year and you look at everything that happens, you just feel blessed that it's given us this result this season.
The most wins since 1997.
Yep.
You built this offense. It's electric and exciting. You had an injury to your starting quarterback. You put the freshman Josh Easton there. He throws for nearly 1,500 yards, 17 touchdown passes, and Wesley School so impressive. 1,700 yards rushing with the school record 358 against Morrisville State. And your receivers, they're sophomores too. Cody Gustafson's school record 76 receptions and 15 touchdowns receptions. You went out and you recruited these kids and you built this offense up. Your defense has come along. So where do the other bricks have to go here?
Yeah, and you mentioned, all those offensive guys you mentioned are underclassmen. West Jr., the sophomore receivers, freshman Qs.
And Drake, Cameron Drake. I don't want to leave him out.
Yeah, so a young, talented group. And obviously our offense aligns what we built it on. We had 1 senior, 4 juniors on the line, so that's really a key for us. We talk about guys we need to continue, areas we need to continue to recruit. And then defensively, we had a couple seniors on defense, a lot of good local talent. Sam Henson from Senecal Valley, Ethan Conto, Karnes City. So those guys losing some things on defense, linebacker and safety, obviously some of the bricks that we have to continue to lay a lot on the defensive side and up front, offensive and defensive line. So, as you mentioned that, looking at recruiting-wise, those are the areas.
Yeah, you had a stretch where you lost 30-some straight games, 3 straight winless seasons. I'm sure when you went into high school as a recruit, it was pretty difficult when they knew what your record was at that time. Now, it would be a little bit different when you walk into schools.
Yeah, those first couple years, it was all talking about the vision of where we were going. And we knew that would work for the first 2 years and of what we wanted to build, but you're going to eventually have to show the fruit of that. And, we talked a lot about brick by brick and how we were going to build things. And it's nice now because you can look back and actually look at bricks that have been laid and the progress that's been made. And, so now when we go into high school, it's a little easier to talk about how much closer we are towards turning that vision into reality.
So impressed, to go back to your Westminster game, the game that we did. You won 36-33 on a touchdown pass with 7 seconds left. How much of a confidence builder was that it catapulted your kids towards such great success the rest of the season?
Yeah, and because Westminster's a great football team. I have so much respect for Scott Benzel. What he's done there is incredible. And so last year when we took a step forward, we got to 5th of 10 in the league, but there's still teams that finish in the top 4 where we weren't really in those games the way we would have liked to be. And Westminster has been in the top 3 of this conference the last several years. So to beat such a quality football team on our homecoming, especially with the freshman quarterback, I mean, he was handed the ball with 78 yards to go, 2 minutes, and no timeouts. And he just grew up immensely in that game. And I thought that really just sparked his confidence and then the rest of the team's confidence going forward. And anytime you can beat a great football team in that type of environment, I thought that was really the confidence we needed to have the win streak leading us into the bowl game.
You look at the St. Vincent game, you came from behind, you won that one with 27 seconds left. Years ago, you maybe would not have won that game, but there's that confidence factor that's building, and you went right down the field and won that game. Again, Codi Gustafson taking the winning touchdown pass from East.
Yeah, and this is what I told our seniors, what I learned from our seniors and told our underclassmen, and it's how this whole program and our seniors responded when things weren't going out well, which allowed them to enjoy moments like the Westminster game and St. Vincent game. And what I mean by that, our seniors were 0 for their first 20 football games. And that year we came in brick by brick their junior year. I mean, they were positive. They bought into where we were going, always having the right outlook, the right attitude about how we were doing things in the weight room and spring football. And I told those guys, because you're responding well, they hadn't seen the wins yet at that point, but how they responded when things weren't going well, I told them is going to benefit them greatly when this thing turns around. And I told them that after the Westminster game and after the St. Vincent 2 games we won in the last 30 seconds. It's just the life principle that it's how you respond to tough circumstance and how you respond when things aren't going well, which allow you to enjoy those special moments. And I believe and we were down, Geneva game, we were down 20 at the end of the first quarter, and no one was fazed. And I told them they've learned how to respond to tough circumstances. You take ownership of the circumstance, you stay positive, you bring joy to what you do, and I think that's what it's allowed them to have the right mindset in those moments.
Well, I think it says a lot about you and your staff, because that first year you're 0-9, and you had to show a lot of patience yourself.
Yeah.
Maybe at times when it wasn't easy to do, to keep everyone together, and then that 4-5 year when you were 4-4 and had Juniata beat, and that game got away from you. So a lot of that feeds off from you down to them.
Yeah, and from the very start, it was 3 main things we talked about. Being where we were at as a program, winless for a couple years, we needed to get their eyes on a vision, and that's why our vision was to glorify God and earning a degree, building relationships, and competing for championships. And that got the guys excited and focused on the right things. But secondly, we told them it's going to be a process. We said, we're not going to compete for championships in year 1. We're not going to compete in year 2. It's going to take time building one brick at a time. So I think from the very start, our guys knew that even though that first year we were doing the right things, that we weren't going to see results right away. And they bought into that. So they knew that even that first year winless, that we had laid the foundation to build upon the next season, and that's where you saw the 4-4 in the conference, and ultimately this year 8-3. But I think it's vision, process, and love. We always say focus on your vision. Know it's going to be a process. It's not going to happen right away. And then the love is just everybody speak the same language, and that for us that's brick by brick. And I think our guys in that first season, they knew that it was going to take time, and they bought into that, which allowed us to enjoy year 2 and then now year 3.
Well, Coach, I could tell I'm impressed with the job you've done. That game was exciting with Westminster, and I know we want to get back up there next year and do another game, and I know things are just going to get better for you. I want to congratulate you once again as Coach of the Year in the President's Athletic Conference, and much luck to you in the coming years.
Thank you. You guys are welcome anytime. Our athletic director, I talked to him today, even driving down, and he just said how much he had a blast, and he's watched that game again on the internet, and you guys just do an unbelievable job.
Thank you. And I tell everyone, Division III football, you better get up here and watch it to appreciate what great football there is around here, and I look for exciting things to come in the future for you.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'll be right back with Al and George. I am back, joined to my right by the Swami George Abraham, to the left, the Tiger Albert Campman. Let's go to Spotlight High School football. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty, the final weeks of this season. I should say final because the championship won't be until, December 15th. Rushing, Luke Meckler of Pine Richland, 115. Cole Spencer of Pine Richland, 95. Passing, Gabe Lawson, Seneca Valley, 162. Cole Spencer, Pine Richland, 158. He had 253 total yards, 4 touchdowns, 2 of them rushing. Receiving, Jake Mineweeser of Seneca Valley, 3 for 66. Shane Caffardi of Pine Richland, 3 for 62. And left over from last week when I mentioned that Seneca Valley grad and Westchester tight end Codi Boozle, the redshirt sophomore, he caught a touchdown pass in the Rams' 33-10 PSAC championship win over Slippery Rock University. PIAA Volleyball 4A Championship, North Allegheny 3, Bishop Shanahan nothing. It's a second straight PIAA title for the Tigers, who also recorded their 5th state championship in volleyball. The last 2 years they've been undefeated, back-to-back WPIAL and state championships. Anna Sprice with 10 kills, and congratulations to Coach Heidi Miller and her team. They joined the boys who went undefeated and won WPIAL and state championships this past spring. Quite a sweep there for the Tigers.
How about you shut them out in the state final? No,
I think they've won now something like 48 or 49 straight
have
matches.
they lost the set? They lost it.
Haven't lost in 2 years.
But have they lost the set?
Oh yeah, they lost the set somewhere. I think they won one of their
3-1.
One of their match 3-1 something.
Okay,
I think
something
the
I
takes are just so high because you
Yeah.
you're they're like the Steelers.
Yeah.
You have a disappointing season if you don't win the Super Bowl. If you don't win. If you don't win the
Semifinals, they're upset.
Yes.
3A semis, undefeated Warren, a really good team, 3 and Knock 1, ending Knock's 48-match streak and denying the Knights a second straight state championship. Kennedy Christie with 13 kills and Hannah Rowe with 11 kills. You know, both of them will return next year. This team's still going to be pretty good. Knock finishes 24-1, but the last 2 years, 1 loss, 2 WPL championships and a state championship, and they're going to be very good again next year.
Oh, you can tell.
And Freeport in the 2A semis, Bald Eagle 3, Freeport 1 to deny the Yellow Jackets a second straight state title. Ali DeGitis had a great career. She finished with 10 kills and 7 straight service points. Freeport finishes 18-4. And in boys soccer semis and in the state championship playoffs, Radnor 3, Seneca Valley nothing. Seneca Valley, the WPIL champs, they finished 19-3. And 1. Just a great fall for Seneca Valley sports. The boys and girls win WPL soccer championships. And we're going to talk about football. The Raiders made it to the 6A championship game. Power rankings, we still have a couple of divisions unsettled that will be taken care of this weekend. In 6A, it's Pine Richland, followed by Seneca Valley, North Allegheny, and Central Catholic. And 5A, Penn Hills, West Allegheny, Gateway, Peters Township, and McKeesport. In 4A, South Fayette, Thomas Jefferson, Blackhawk, Bell Vernon, and Beaver. In 3A, Aliquippa, Derry, Grove City, North Catholic, Beaver Falls. In 2A, Still Valley, Southside, Beaver, Wilmington, Charleroi, and Freedom. And in 1A, Olsh, Rochester, Jeanette, Clairton, and Monessen. Let's go to our stories of the week, and it is high school football playoffs. 3 more undefeated teams went down. That makes 7 in the last 2 weeks that were knocked off. WPL 6A championship game leading just 7-0 at the half. The Pine Richland Rams, they broke the game open and defeated Seneca Valley 34-7 to capture their 3rd WPL championship in the last 5 years. You know, the thing about this game, I don't know if you guys watch it, they come out, there was great intensity by both teams there. And I'll tell you what, Pine Richland had a lot of respect for Seneca Valley. Seneca Valley really caught their attention with that 31-14 semifinal win over North Allegheny. There was a lot of hard hitting in that game, and junior running back Luke Meckler ran for 115 yards. And how about sophomore quarterback Cole Spencer to 253 total yards? He becomes the 3rd different quarterback to lead the Rams to a championship the last 5 years, and the first to have a chance to lead him to back-to-back championships, something that Ben DiNucci and Phil Jakovic didn't do. This is a young team, guys. Still, they'll have 8 starters back next year, 4 on each side of the ball. They lose a lot of those offensive linemen, of course. And for Pine, next up, quarterfinals, they'll take on State College 12-1. This will be Saturday at Altoona.
Well, you mentioned the quarterbacks winning. The common thread, though, was the offensive line.
Yes.
That's
Big,
when
strong.
you lose that. That's the strength of their team.
That might
lose
not
that.
be as easy replaced.
Oh no, no chance, no chance. 3 Division Ones.
The Rondo, I'm not sure where he's going.
Oh, he's good enough. He might not go there, but he's good enough.
Exactly.
No chance.
Tremendous center.
Yeah, that's why they beat Seneca Valley. You could tell the game they wore them down on the line of scrimmage, and that's what
Well,
Pirates does.
they beat Seneca Valley the way Seneca Valley beat NA, and the way NA beat Pine Richland in the trenches. It's no secret.
Yeah, it is a trench warfare, and the emotions of Seneca Valley might just have worn down. That win over North Allegheny, they got patted on the back. You're going hard, you're going hard, you're going hard. You got to try to, and Pine Richland had an easier route. And I saw that happen. I wonder why North Allegheny won it, and Pine Richland had an easier route to get there. I mean,
That's the way it worked out.
yeah.
And with North Allegheny, the game that we did, beating Pine 27-7, and then you just knew that when they saw what Seneca Valley did to North Allegheny, who just pounded them.
But Seneca had to beat Central. Don't forget that.
They beat Central.
They had to step up there.
They beat two.
So North Allegheny had to play either one of them. That's what I'm saying. Pine
Right.
Richland never had to play anybody until they got to Seneca Valley. It shocks me.
They played Mount Lebanon in the
Who was lousy.
semifinal, and they pounded them 46-16.
Been lousy all year.
Seneca Valley 9-4. They will return 7 starters, including quarterback Gabe Lawson, who threw for 1,300 yards and 12 touchdowns. But for Coach Ron Butchley and his staff and the team, it was just a great season. And that 31-14 semifinal win over North Allegheny, that's a game I'll never forget. It was a great win by Seneca Valley.
And that's the one they won't forget either. That's
Remember it for a long time, and deservedly so. And I know they lost 34-7, but they left nothing out on that field. I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah, no question about that.
And 5A semis. Well, how about this for a stunner? Gateway in their first 12 games gave up 50 points. They were stunned by West Allegheny, who just a week before escaped Woodland Hills 14-13. They pounded Gateway 42-28, and now they will face Penn Hills 13-0 winners over Peters Township Friday at Norwin for the 5A WPL championship. Shocked
Me.
Huge.
No, shocked completely. I lost a big steak dinner on that one. Thought he said
That really hurt him.
And he honestly thought that West Allegheny would score against them. And I said they only get 50 points all year, and West State struggled against Woodland Hills. Nothing made sense in that game. What happened? I'd love to see the film on that game and find out what, because West Allegheny snaps the ball to the running back and just runs it through you. And Gateway could not.
I think Gateway went up 28-21, and then West Dell scored the last 21 points.
How many points they scored? Yes.
4A, how about this upset down 21-0 at the half? The South Fayette Lions outscored Thomas Jefferson 21-3 in the second half and beat TJ 31-24 to win the 4th WPL championship for Coach Joe Rossi. I don't know what he did at halftime. I thought that game was going to end up like 50-some to 17. It completely surprised me in the second half.
It surprised everybody, and Chirpak usually gets a lead like that and just runs ground truck, just keeps the ball away from you. Yeah.
Yeah.
He couldn't do it. It's interesting.
Next up for South Fayette, 12-1, they will take on Erie Cathedral Prep 10-3. That will be Friday at Erie Veterans Stadium.
That's no easy place to play.
No, tough
The
place.
travel gets you. The weather can get you. Yeah, that'll be a tough
And
game.
isn't Cathedral Prep, they're the defending state champions?
Oh, yeah. Last year they were tremendous.
Yeah, they're just
They're
good.
as good this year.
Yeah.
But good enough to beat South Fayette. But this is good.
And they got that tradition.
Yeah.
So does South Fayette. This
They
will
got
be-
New- they got
Oh,
New
no,
York players.
I don't think they
Yeah,
faced
New
a
York.
passing attack like
No, they
South
wouldn't.
Fayette has.
No.
In 3A, raise another banner, number 17 for the Quips. They defeat Derry 42-19. Quarterback Eli Kosanovich, 327 yards passing, 4 touchdowns, and Coach Mike Warfield in his first year gets a WPL championship.
He's got many more coming because it looked like men playing boys. It
Change
really
that
did. No, it
offense,
looked like
didn't
men. Looked like men playing boys.
Right.
They looked like this Juju Smith's catching the ball out there.
Yeah.
Gibson and Devonshire are that good. They're going big time and. Yeah, but it was. I'm still trying to figure out how Central Valley beat Alcott.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
They beat them 14-8.
Yes.
They bring that spread now. For Warfield has
We
brought it
talked
to
about it
Alec, but
earlier,
just
yeah, it was-
a total a different look for them and with the athletes they have. Look out.
Yeah, and they're good on line of scrimmage. Nobody ever gets help of a credit on line of scrimmage. And they're one of those teams like Central Florida in college. They can play anybody on one given. If they anybody, I'm talking about 6A all the way down, one game,
Yeah,
two
I mean,
games.
you have 270 and 300-pound tackles.
Yeah, and
certainly
people,
can.
they might not be able to get through the season.
They don't have the depth.
Because they only have 28 kids.
And athletes
But-
on the flanks.
Oh, my.
Yeah, who do they have next?
They have a bye.
Well, then they get Sharon.
They're
That'd be
sure,
interesting.
probably, yes.
In a 3A District 10 championship, Sharon upset undefeated Grove City 23-6. They held the Eagles to 52 yards rushing, 225 total yards, and they avenged a regular season loss in which they got pounded.
Hey, they had the ball 12 minutes.
It's another shocker. Gateway
Yes.
and this scored. I was
And TJ.
I was shocked.
Yeah.
Because Grove City had already trounced
40-9
Sharon.
it was.
You know, they trounced them.
Well, when's the last time this happened in a 2-week period? 7 undefeated teams got knocked off.
No, I don't remember. I don't remember it happening.
Maybe
and
this 6A thing has something.
It does. It does.
Because I know it weakened it, but it might also have made these
Maybe,
upsets.
but we can 6A, but 5A, 4A, and 3A, they are really good. 2A WPL Championship, Still Valley 12-1. They will take on Southside Beaver 10-3. That will be Saturday noon at Robert Morris. And in 2A District 10, Wilmington 40, Chestnut Ridge 33. Next up for Wilmington 11-1, they will take on Ridgeway Johnsonburg on Saturday.
Well, when I woke up, you know, I talked to many people. They thought this game was going to be a rout. So I told everybody it was going to be a rout.
Yeah.
And this team had them on the ropes because they threw the ball over the field. There's that misconception in November you can't throw the ball and win. South Fayette, Chestnut Ridge. If you do it right, short passes, crossing patterns, you can do it.
And it seems like they all have these quarterbacks that are too short to go on big time, but they torch you in high school.
Well, this kid's not too short. In 1A WPL Championship, Olsh 28, Rochester 6. The first title for the Chargers in just their 9th year of football. Quarterback Tyler Bradley, 6'4", 205. 3 touchdown passes to give him 100 for his career. Here's what he did this year. He threw for 3,228 yards and 45 touchdown passes. And more to come yet. Next, they have a bye.
Coach's son, and so he knows the game also. Interesting that I thought he was going to Ambridge when Bradley coached. His dad coached there, and the Ambridge school board said, no, you're not allowed to bring your kid in. Now,
It's a good
it
move.
might be one of the
Might be
stupidest
why
things.
they lose every
Yes,
game every
Is that
it
why
is.
they were 1-9
Yeah,
this
exactly.
year?
Could be
It doesn't make any sense to me at all.
We don't want your
Well,
son.
with Olsh, he had some divine intervention there on the part of Olsh.
yes.
No, really.
Now, the
Coach
intent-
Fazio, did he start that up? Joe Walton and those guys, they were driving down. They got that started.
Oh, did they really?
Yes,
The
I didn't know
football,
that.
not Fazio. He died
Was it
before they started.
9 years?
the
I thought he got that started right
didn't
before
know
that.
He may have. It would be close.
Yeah, I think.
The attendance there at Heinz Field, I turned
Oh.
around. They had 10,000 for the games, 60,000 empty seats there for the late game, and maybe it's just me. Listen, I hate to date myself. I played at Forbes Field, coached at Three Rivers, coached at Pitt Stadium. But you know the best environment we had for a game as a coach when we played Mount Lebanon or Penn Hills at Mount Lebanon in a championship in 77, and you had 10, 11,000 people there surrounding the field. The atmosphere was
Yeah, he had
electric.
23 in 4 games. That's all.
23 what?
1,000. 4 games.
No, they had 10. The
Bobby
attendance was
reported at
10,000.
23.
No, they had 10,000.
Oh, I didn't
Down
see
there.
the stats. I'm just saying
That's
this-
all. 10,000.
The
They had
atmosphere.
12,000 last
The
year.
atmosphere never going to be the same, but for the kids.
For the kids,
Yeah,
they're
for
going
the
to a big
kids.
venue.
Yeah, that,
I get
If
it.
you're thinking coach,
I
you're
get it.
thinking fans, yes.
Yeah.
Well, I
For the
understand.
kids, yeah.
When I played, we played at Forbes Field, and we had a crowd of 21,000 there. And, yeah, we were excited to go there and
Yeah, I
play.
saw
Well,
that.
now Norwin and Robert Morris, that's funny. You know, I guess they have the best fields.
Norwin has a very nice stadium.
Okay, and you know Robert Morris does.
College football, Pitt 34, Wake Forest 13. The Panthers win the Coastal Division and will face Clemson December 1st in Charlotte for the ACC Championship. Narduzzi back in July at the luncheon at Heinz Field said, I'll see you at the ACC Championship game in Charlotte. Now, I don't know if he meant he was going to drive a bus down with it. I didn't see them
I'm not
going
saying
there. So he sounds like Moses leading them to the promised land. And he made some digs this week at his Monday press conference about all those people who doubted his team. And I'm one of them, and there are legions of them out there.
And I wish he was here because I'd say, what happened to you against Penn State and Central Florida?
Yeah.
I think it's just the ACC is so weak.
Their side is
I'm not
really
giving
weak.
Pitt credit. I mean, he's won, but these teams stink.
No defense.
Central Florida looked like they were some. It was a JV game when they played that game.
Yeah.
Central Florida would be the second best team maybe in the
next to
ACC.
Clemson.
Oh yeah, they
Clemson.
definitely would. No,
This year,
no thinking. They definitely
this year,
would be.
yeah.
But what I will give him credit though is he and he can use this as a recruiting tool. So there's no reason why he can't say, listen, you want to get on the Joe Moore list, offensive line is rated the top 10 in the country, come to Pitt. You want to be a great running back, come to Pitt.
Yeah.
So that's he can use it.
And next for Pitt, 7-4, and they're now number 24 in the new AP poll. They're at Miami, 6-5. Miami snapped a 4-game losing streak, beating Virginia Tech 38-14. Miami's defense, by the way, is the third best in the nation. They give up only 274 yards a game. Pitt is getting 5.5 points.
Let me ask you.
Tells you right there.
Is it me or does it sound much different if you say 8-4 or 7-5?
I think it does.
Big difference.
Big
I think it
difference.
does.
Big difference because it's important to win this game. I know he says they're not looking ahead to Clemson, but to win this game and go into that game against Clemson 8-4, but you get bopped down in Miami. I don't care what kind of a selling job you do to your team.
Yeah.
That hurts you going into the championship game.
And what you just described is what I just as a carryover. Miami lost 4 in a row, won a game, and they're favored over the champion
By 6.
That tells you how weak that league is.
Well,
Rodney Dangerfield.
We said danger going into Stillwater,
Yeah.
Oklahoma State 45, West Virginia 41. Next for number 12 West Virginia, Friday at home versus number 6 Oklahoma, 10-1. Oklahoma favored by 1.
Up and down the field. Get ready for another
Here we
one.
go.
Hey, what will that be like?
61
got to be 80.
Yes. It's going to be up and down the field like you
Oh,
can't
my
believe.
goodness.
Here we come, rivalry Saturday. Auburn 7-4 at number 1. Alabama 11-0 in the Iron Bowl. Bama by 24.5.
Jeez.
Let's hope they're healthy after that big win over the Citadel. Number 4, Michigan 10-1 at number 10, Ohio State 10-1. Michigan by 4. The Wolverines have not won at the Shoe since 2000. They've lost 7 straight to the Buckeyes, who won 52-51 over Maryland. People, I was talking to someone, they said, well, Ohio State. I said, they're 10-1. I said, I don't know how you're going to cut it. They're 10-1. Their defense may be terrible. They're 10-1. Don't be surprised. Their defense may pop up and play a great game against Michigan on Saturday.
Yeah, expectations of Ohio State, you have to win by 20 points a game. Not win, just win games. You got to win games the
When's
right
the
way.
last time they were a dog in the horse?
I don't remember.
I can't remember.
I can't remember either.
I look for them to put
I do too.
number
I
8
think
on
they're
them.
going to play.
Yeah.
And he's never won there, as you say. He's never beaten them anywhere.
And Urban Meyer's been in
a million.
ton of big games.
Exactly.
Number 3, Notre Dame 11-0 at USC 5-6. Notre Dame an impressive 36-3 win over number 12 Syracuse. Notre Dame favored by 11.
Is that
climbing.
1100 or is that?
It's
Gee,
climbing,
that's
too.
Yeah.
It's climbing. It
Is
started
it
at
climbing?
9.
Hey,
and it's going to be 13.
can't make it
14.
high enough.
It'll be 13-14 by game time.
NCAA Division II playoff, Slippery Rock 20, number 2 seed and undefeated Long Island University post
Great
14.
win.
Running back West Hills 167 yards. Quarterback Roland Rivers threw for 163. Jake Chaplin field goals of 25 and 41 yards. And Coach Sean Lutz, he's the PSAC Coach of the Year. Next for the Rock 10-2 Saturday at New Haven. New Haven 35-28 win over PSAC champion Westchester. And of course, we just had Coach DiDonato on from Grove City College. He's the President's Athletic Conference Coach of the Year. They had their first playoff win ever in school history, 56-48, and running back Wesley Schools, a career school record, I should say, 359 yards rushing.
Kudos to the Grove City staff, Grove City, everything involved in there. Yeah. What a turnaround
No
in
wins.
that program, yes.
That's it for us. We run out of time. We will see you next week.